Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen from around the world, good afternoon, and welcome to the AI Safety Plenum of the International AI Cooperation and Governance Forum 2024. My name is Jason Zhao. I'm a Senior Research Manager of Concordia AI, a social enterprise focused on AI safety and governance with offices in Beijing and Singapore. We are so pleased today to co-host a discussion on AI safety in collaboration with Singapore's AI Verify Foundation, and are thankful for the opportunity to partner with the National University of Singapore, Tsinghua University, and Hong Kong University of Science and Technology for another year. With the rapid advancements of AI technologies in the past 2 years, the world has woken up to the need for international cooperation to prevent the misuse, accident, and systemic risks from increasingly advanced AI systems. We are thrilled today to bring you several distinguished speakers from governments, academia, and industry to explore the potential for coordination across borders. We will have short presentations by our 5 guests, followed by an interactive Q&A session. And without further ado, I'm excited to present our first speaker today, Professor Lam Kwok Yen. Professor Lam is Associate Vice President, Strategy and Partnerships, and Professor in the College of Computing and Data Science at the Nanyang Technological University. He is currently also the Executive Director of the Digital Trust Center Singapore and Singapore AI Safety Institute. He is director of the Strategic Research Center for Research in Privacy, Preserving Technologies and Systems, and director of NTU's Spirit Smart Nation Research Center. Professor Lam, welcome. The floor is yours.
Thank you for the introduction. I'll give you a quick overview about the AI Safety Institute's work at the Digital Trust Center. First, the structure of our AISI. In May this year, DTC was designated as the Singapore AI Safety Institute as a focal point for AI safety and also to carry out the efforts across our local research ecosystem. And in partnership with IMDA, we basically together address the various aspects of AI safety. And of course, being hosted at the university, we focus a lot on the research and scientific aspects as well as the engineering aspects. Then when it comes to the governance, we work very closely with IMDA and it's basically led by our IMDA colleagues. Then about DTC, which was established exactly 2 years ago, October 2022, with a very generous support from the Singapore government, focusing on the 3 major areas. Number 1 is privacy, which is the important part of AI and analytics because of the need to gather a lot of data, process the data, and store the data. So having the new techniques to allow the data to be processed in protected form was one of the important areas that we started working on a few years ago. So when it came to the concept of the digital trust that we started 2 years ago, we identified privacy as one of the important areas behind the protection or building trust in the digital economy, especially when it's automated by AI. And of course, when it came to the recent efforts in AI safety, privacy protection of user data in the AI system is also one of the important requirements. So the second focus areas of DTC is the AI safety, which make use of the efforts that we have developed or capability developed in the privacy preserving technologies research. The third one is decentralization. Ultimately, we focus a lot on supporting, enhancing trust in the digital economy, and in the digital economy, which is borderless. So having in a borderless, decentralized environment, the traditional concept of a trusted third party, root of trust, no longer exists. So that's why we also start to look at decentralization, especially how to build trust in a decentralized environment. And when it comes to trust, then we talk about accountability. That means you can trust something if something goes wrong, and someone will take responsibility. That's usually the most fundamental requirement of trust. So when it comes to the accountability, we need to identify the entity that's going to be accountable. So because of that, we also look at the decentralized identity. So this is all related to digital trust, and also how this work together to support a AI safety ecosystem. So given what I mentioned earlier, so this is the conceptual plan behind the trust technologies that we developed to guide the work of the Digital Trust Center, built on the underlying research capabilities at the current research ecosystems. We look at a few areas that we feel is important in the building the trusted services in the digital economy, including trusted compute, which is to allow organizations to move their data to a third-party environment without disclosing the data, and yet it can be computed. And trusted analysis is to allow multiple organizations to work together to do analytics without disclosing the data. And then we also be working on the different types of cybersecurity or trustworthy computing, and also we've been working on how to improve the robustness and trustworthiness of AI systems, because our previous work in the Smart Nation systems research. So this is basically what we did, and of course in our work we also aim to bring in the industry organizations so that we can build an end-to-end work from the underlying academic research to the translation research to something that can be deployed in the real world. And so the AI Safety Institute was established, or at least was announced in May this year, and it was an effort that we have been working on for the past 1.5 years. So basically, it was announced by our prime ministers in May this year, and the aim is to address the gaps in the global AI safety science and provide scientifically grounded AI governance for Singapore. So that's why we work very closely with IMD, and together we basically drive the efforts and activities behind AI safety. So with that in mind, so the first thing we did, summarizing on our previous experience and work in AI safety. First thing is to try to be able to communicate with our collaborators. So the first effort is to define a taxonomy or a framework to explain the various concepts in the trustworthy AI, responsible AI, trusted AI, and AI safety. So this is basically starting from a purely technical definitions of AI safety, that is the trustworthy AI. So in the inner layer, it's basically pure technical definitions. That is the hardware, the software, the systems, the model behave as specified. A very typical definitions in the trustworthy computing or in cybersecurity. And then we start to look at adding in social aspects or the societal requirements. So we start to look at the AI system as a social technical systems, and looking at societal or responsibility and protections of users. So then we have the responsible AI that start to look into things like fairness, explainability, and accountability, and so on. And then we further expand the scope into the entire AI ecosystems that will be cross-industry and cross-border. That is when we look at the current trend that when the model is getting bigger and bigger, not many organizations or countries can afford to build and train the gigantic model. So it will get to situations that a few organizations come up with the so-called foundational model, and the rest of the industry or the users just build things on top of that. So because of that, we come to the point that if there's any vulnerabilities or loophole in the foundational model, the risk will ripple down the AI supply chain and lead to collective failure of the society or the digital economy. And that's why we start to look at it from more at the national or international risk level. So these are the focus areas that we do. Primarily currently focusing more on the testing and evaluation and looking at safe model design and deployment. And we also look at content assurance. This ties very well with our work on decentralization. And the governance and policy, we work closely with IMDA. So basically, I hope this gives you an overview about what we do in the Singapore AI Safety Institute and our focus areas, at least in the near term. Thank you.